welcome to another episode of the Nothing Podcast, a podcast where we talk about everything and nothing all in one. And welcome to the first episode of 2025 a new year with lots of content, lots of exploring different avenues of making content and different avenues of making money and doing things online. And there hasn't really been much happening since the year started. The only big thing that I can think of that's been happening is CES, the Consumers Electronics Show, that is happening currently. That's been happening for the past week, where they show off a lot of innovative, great products and things that happen. But I don't really think it's something that is very much applicable to us, because one is quite inaccessible for most South Africans. Even some of the biggest tech YouTubers and stuff don't go there. There's literally just one South African tech YouTuber that is there, and I'm sure he literally saved up most of the funding and stuff to go there. I don't think there's any brand that paid for him to go there, whereas it's something that's catered more for the American audience and American people. And even with all the products that they've been showing off there, they show off a lot of stuff that's not necessarily going to make it into the commercial world. They show off a lot of things that are going to be prototypes and things that are going to be innovative, and the other things that are going to be successful from there. Those are the things that we are going to get as the rest of the world. It's the same thing with all these other gadgets like robot vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. So it's interesting to look at, because it is very interesting things that are being showcased and displayed there. But I don't think it's something that we, especially as South Africans, that we need to pay a lot of attention to, because most of the things that are being showcased there aren't things that are specifically targeted for us. It's things that are more for first world countries and stuff like that. But yeah, we still, it doesn't mean that we can't talk about it at all. I think it was a few episodes ago, I was talking about specifically audio when it comes to content creation and creating content, and in that specific episode I recommended the newer CM28s, and I got them. So I've been testing them out for the past few weeks, how they are, the sound quality, the battery life, the range and stuff, and it's very excellent, especially for the price. I think you can get it on Camera Stuff's website for 3,600 and something rand, which is, I feel like, for everything that they have. I mean, they have a case for you to put them in and charge them. You can connect them to your smartphones through these dongles. I'm currently using one right now. I think I shouldn't have opened it up, because I just heard that it connected to the receiver. But yeah, it's great battery life. It is excellent for the price that you get. And it also has internal recording, which is something you don't really get much when it comes to this price point. So yeah, these I would definitely highly recommend them for anyone who's starting out there, even like a small video production company, or even content creation. They come with all the accessories that you need. The only thing that they don't come with is they don't come with live mics. But I feel like for most people, won't really need live mics. It's only if you're doing it very professionally, where I would highly recommend live mics with it. The only negatives I would say I've seen so far is one, the build quality isn't as good when you compare them to the higher, more expensive ones, like the Rode Wireless Go Pros or the DJI lav mics. I think it's just, it feels, and I don't blame them, because they had to cut money off somewhere. Whereas, with the DJI mics, that does pretty much the exact same thing, cost like 8,000, 9,000 rand on Take-A-Lot. But then with that, you get a lot better build quality And also, I think after support is something that also would be the reason why I would recommend, if you are someone that is getting paid for a living, to use that a specific product, I'd recommend getting the best that you can, especially when it comes to audio. When it comes to audio is not like cameras or monitors or anything like that. The lifespan of audio equipment is way longer than a camera. I mean, the audio recorders that are still being used today professionally. I mean, we use Zoom H6s, Zoom H5s, Zoom H8s, and all and the newer stuff. They all came out like years ago. They came out probably like 10, 12, 15 years ago. But the thing is you can't really innovate as much when it comes to audio. So a lot of the stuff that's still being used today, audio-wise, I mean the microphones. I mean, one of the most popular podcast mic, the Shure SM7B, it is a microphone that was used by Michael Jackson to record Thriller. So you see, when it comes to audio equipment, I would highly recommend getting the best you can, because it's going to be something that you're going to have for a very, very long time. Whereas when it comes to camera bodies and stuff like that, the tech moves on so quickly. In 3-4 years time, you're going to want to upgrade your camera, because it feels like it misses a lot of features and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll give you guys after a few more months another long-term review of me putting. I haven't really used them a lot. I've just used them for a lot of personal passion projects and stuff like that. So when I start using them a lot more, I'll give you guys a better in-depth review. But one thing I also saw is in Take a Lot, what's that brand? Boya also came out with something that is similar with this for, I think, 3,000 Rand, and also has internal recording, charging case, can connect to smartphones, and they also come with lav mics. They come with 2 lav mics. So I think it is a great thing to see that great products are becoming cheaper, so that it can be accessible to a lot more people, and a lot more people can see and do and start creating content for a fraction of the price that they used to. But then again, it is also going to mean that the market, especially when it comes to professional video and photography, is going to be heavily saturated, because then the barrier to entry is so low. I mean, these days, a lot of people, you can get by with the absolute basic of equipment, because the quality of very cheap equipment has gotten so good, which is I think is a very good thing, and is something that we should always strive to innovate for, because competition is always a good thing. Yeah, there's been quite a lot of things that's been on my mind, mainly the LA fires, which has been so catastrophic. It's very, very bad, I think. And one thing that really has concerned me more than anything about that is all the wildlife, all the animals, that have lost their lives, and now all lost their habitats and environment. And now all those animals are pretty much, they don't have anywhere to go. They're going to have to adapt and overcome all the challenges that they're going to face. And though those other animals that won't be able to adapt, they simply won't make it. It's just Darwinism. It's mainly evolution. But yeah, the LA fires have been very, very catastrophic, and my thoughts and prayers are with each and every person and family that's been affected by the fires. And yeah, I think the best thing we can do is just hope that they stop as soon as possible, so that people can resume with their lives and carry on. Other than that, there hasn't really been a lot of things on my mind. I think I'm still trying to get into the whole groove again of being back working. There's been one thing that has been on my mind, it's nothing really related to content. It's more of life experience and things that I have noticed, with life. And one thing that I have noticed is um, the problem with narcissistic people is that most of the time, most of them, it's not their fault. Most of the time, a lot of narcissistic people are people that inhabited the traits, whether there's a lot of factors when it comes to reasons why a person could be a narcissist. But one of the things is it could be a genetic thing. It could be something that because their parents were narcissists, so it came down with them because that's how they were taught when they grew up, and how they were taught to treat people and to treat a person. And there's also quite a lot of other factors that could be involved. It could be because a lot of the times empathy can't be taught. So if you as a person are not empathetic, there isn't really much that any other person can do to teach you to be empathetic. So if you aren't empathetic as a person, it's very hard. It's most of the time you're going to end up being a narcissist because you can't really think for other people. You can't think, I am shopping. One of the things that really is like one of my biggest pet peeves is when you are out shopping and you are in the shopping malls and people just stand in the middle of the aisle to look for something, not being mindful that there are other people around them, which is, it could also be, I'm not saying everyone that does that is a narcissist. It could be one of the traits to being a narcissist, not having empathy. And also, it could also be to emotional neglect, A lot of the people that were emotionally neglected as children tend, because they didn't get all the emotional stability and emotional fix, if I can put it like that they need, they tend to be and to get very narcissistic. And there's just something that I've been thinking of as to why, because I have dealt with quite a lot of narcissistic people in my life. I think a lot of us have. But I was just thinking that most of the time it's not their fault. Even though there are a lot of people who the reason that they are narcissistic is purely because of them. But most of the time, I think you should just try and forgive people, because you don't know every day what someone is going through. Just because that person cut you in traffic, or just because that person drove in front of you in traffic, or in front of you in the queue, a lot of the times, a lot of people, we are going through a lot of things. It's not only the surface level stuff that we see every day, where it is just that everything is good. Someone could have lost their dog, someone could have lost their partner, someone could be going through a breakup, they could be grieving, they could be going through hardships at work. So I think one thing and one motto I can always, I can just, try and give and encourage to people is be nicer. Be nicer to people out there, because especially now in the beginning of the year, people are going through a lot of financial struggles. Be nicer to people and always try your best to at least make one person's day, even if it's just a tiny little bit better, by smiling at them, greeting them with a friendly smile. It can go a very, very long run for that specific person. On the other hand, where for you it's just it's just a smile. It doesn't really cost much to be nice. But I know it is very difficult to be a nice person. Because we as people, we also go through a lot of hardships. So it's not always easy to be nice to people and to to give energy that you necessarily won't get. But I think it's something that you have to tell yourself that you shouldn't always do things with the mindset of getting something back. I know that is the very hustler's mentality that we've been taught and that's been put so much into our minds, especially as us as young people. Whereas, you know, they say that you shouldn't really do something if it's not going to benefit you, and sometimes you should just do something and not expect anything back. The great thing I have noticed about the world is when you put out good energy, you're going to receive good energy back. And I think there is no better point to stop today's episodes than that. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed listening or watching, or wherever you were tuned into, whichever platform you were tuned into for today. This year, I really want to strive to upload weekly, so we're gonna push for like 40 plus episodes for this year. And yeah, I appreciate each and every person that has tuned in and listened. Don't forget to do all the things, to like, to comment, tell me, have you ever dealt with narcissistic people, and what do you think about narcissistic people? And yeah, other than that, be good, and if you're not good, take pictures. Cheers, guys.